Good afternoon on this fine Tuesday morning. I'm Kenneth the K-Rock client saying, why do I need to talk like we're playing golf? Because we are talking golf on the ETB Sportsnet Coaches Show with head coach Sydney Harvey. Coach Harvey, welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
That's nice for you to be back as well. So, it's been a week since you last played up in Brownwood. Had a couple of matches, or actually a straight match that qualified for tournament play. So let's get into that as well. But first and foremost, so your first match of the season as a team on both sides. Talk about the experience and how it went.
It was really good. Obviously, the first season back can be a little bit rough. Everyone's a little bit nervous, trying to shake off the rust, everything like that. But the girls had 3 days of match play when the guys had 36 holes of stroke play to set up for the match play. The girls played really great. They got after it really well. I was really surprised with how competitive they were. Not that they're not competitive, but they really just brought it and took all their matches down to the very last hole. And so it was a great experience for them, for sure.
Absolutely, Coach. So let's start off with the girls, obviously, because they had their match play went well, and they ended up winning their match, and they ended up qualifying for a tournament as well. So just talk about the overall mindset for the team going into the match play, heading into the tournament.
Sure. So the first 3 weeks of practice, we had really just focused on growing our game, growing our mindset, getting mentally tougher all around for my women. And so when they got to Brownwood and started competing and beat McMurray in the first round, I was so impressed. We won 3 matches and halved one, and actually Mackenzie Cure was down 3 holes after her first 3 holes, and then came back to have her match and won her last 3 holes to have the match. So just seeing them compete and grind and get after it was awesome to me. So
definitely. And one player that was really impactful for the women's team was Charles C. Carter, and just kind of talk about her play and how it was able to bring momentum to your team for the rest of the week.
Definitely. So Charles C. was the only player she was in our 5 holes, so she played by herself and just totally got after it. I mean, won every single match by a lot, actually. So just having that momentum for the rest of the girls really helped. She is such a competitor and totally just got after it, and I think she loves playing match play. She's very competitive, so just being able to play another girl straight up, heads up, she enjoys that. So
Certainly. And on the men's side, you ended up in a tournament format where you won your first match again, but then of course came down a little short in your next couple of matches. But talk about all the guys, what they had to deal with, and just how they competed in those matches.
Sure. So we played 36 holes of stroke play the first day, and for our seed in the match play event, and then played Howard Payne in the first match play event, and got after it on that one, and had some really close matches, couple matches that went down to the last hole. So it was good to see them compete and get after it there. We had a couple of guys who didn't really travel in the fall, but got with it in the off season and came back and qualified for this tournament and won their matches. Cameron Barrett took it down to the 17th hole to be able to win his match, which was huge and a lot of momentum for the guys. Everyone else was done, so they all got to watch him. And I think just being able to watch him compete and just grind it out really hyped them up a little bit. So it was fun.
Absolutely, Coach. And also. Obviously it was a good weekend for y'all. So this week, you had a week off, and this week, of course, you're back out in Laterno, or competing in Longview, going up against Laterno. But just kind of talk about the bye week last week. What did you guys get any preparation done, or just what did the bye week look like?
Well, we had to deal with a little bit of weather, but I thought that was good just because it gives us a little bit more time to be able to, or it just helps us compete better whenever we do have those bad weather days in tournaments. I feel like we're a little bit more mentally prepared to be able to compete in those harsher conditions. So we really worked on our mental toughness. It was definitely a mental toughness week. I kind of killed them in practice this week. But they needed it, and I think they grew this week, and I think they're really ready to be able to compete. I know Laterno is hosting, but Pinecrest is one of our home courses. So they're really excited to be at home for a tournament, be able to go out there and hopefully rip it up at our home course.
All right. Okay, Coach. Well, best of luck to you this weekend. Well, I should say next week.
Next week.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, is it kind of confusing because most sporting events around here are usually on the weekends, but yours is kind of like, Sunday, Monday or so.
Well, it's not confusing for me because I've always done that. Golf is typically on Monday and Tuesday, so
Okay.
it's not confusing for me, but I can see how it is for others.
Because usually golf tournaments, it'd be like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So,
Sure.
I mean, it'd be kind of weird to see someone walk up the 18th of the Masters getting a green jacket on a Monday or Tuesday. But,
Totally.
All right, Coach, thanks for joining me once again, and best of luck to you next week as you take on Laterno and their Pinecrest Country Club. We'll have more on this YouTube channel.